Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related hockey in the NHL overall. And we are back at it with another trade rumor type video. I believe this will be my second for the day, and depending on how things happen, especially with today's playoff game, I might have 3 videos up, so stay tuned. But regardless, if you've seen previous videos, you know when it comes to these trade rumors, we talk about a lot of goaltenders, and this time we were talking about none other than Marc-Andre Fleury, Flower as everyone likes to call him. Fleury, we all know the situation. Going back to August 22nd is when his, of course, agent and Allan Walsh tweeted out a very suspect photo in which I have it in my thumbnail as blended in, of course, of Fleury being stabbed with DeBoer's name on it as a symbol, of course, of really being backstabbed, if you will, with the likes of Lehner being the starter for the bulk of this year's playoffs for the Vegas Golden Knights. And now that they are out of the playoffs, of course, and I'm sorry, Vegas Golden Knights fans, I know you're upset about that. I don't blame you, but I want to make sure I put this video out there after the fact. I didn't want to do it during playoffs or anything like that, but now it feels like a good time, especially with Vegas being talked about especially. But regardless, when it comes to Marc-Andre Fleury, he was having a solid season with the Vegas Golden Knights this past season, but at the same time was kind of up and down. A lot happened with him this past year. I believe he was away for a little bit from the game because of the passing of his father, so he has been dealing with a bit, but regardless, he still put up solid numbers this season. If you look at Fleury's stats, in 49 games played, he had 27 wins, 16 losses, and 5 overtime losses, had a goals allowed average of 2.77 and a save percentage of 905. You know, Fleury's 35 years old. He has $7 million for 2 years left on his cap hit, of course, and he was originally drafted in the first round, first overall back in 2003 by the Penguins. As we all know, won 3 cups with them, one of them as a starter and the other 2 as a backup, I believe. But nonetheless, when it comes to Fleury, his future with Vegas is surely done. And why is that? Well, David Pagnotta, I'm pretty sure I pronounced his name wrong, but he's, of course, a hockey writer. He came out just a couple of days ago how Vegas has finalized a deal with Lehner, of course, for an extension of 5 years, around 25 mil in total. So, you know, 5 years, 25 mil, you got it. So the thing is, though, which really goes hand in hand with that backstabbing that we saw from Fleury's agent, is the fact that this deal was supposedly in place going back to June. So the likelihood that that has gotten word from other people, whether in management or at least Allan Walsh, seems more and more likely, because why else would he put up something like that? I think it makes a lot more sense now. But Lehner, of course, is going to be the #1 for the Vegas Golden Knights for the foreseeable future over these next couple of years especially, and they won't be able to handle a cap hit of having 2 goaltenders with at least 4.5 mil to 5 mil in a cap hit, because when you look at their current cap hit, they only have around 4.94 in cap space going into this year's offseason, so they're not going to be able to afford both goaltenders. Fleury is surely on the move, so the question is, where is he going to go? My assumption as of right now, just all speculative, I've heard some rumors, but really nothing significant as of yet, given the fact that Vegas was literally just kicked out of the playoffs, but it seems like the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes could both possibly be suitors. Now, I understand roughly half the NHL is looking for goaltending help in this year's offseason, given the great goalie market we're having between free agency and trade value as well. But when it comes to Fleury especially, a reunion with Pittsburgh doesn't seem all that crazy when you really think about it. Jim Rutherford, we all know, has been known to getting guys that he has familiarity with back in his lineup. That was evident with Kasperi Kapanen, again, just a month ago or so in that trade with the Leafs, of course, and it wouldn't surprise me else, given the fact that he is going to be trading Matt Murray more than likely, maybe him and Jory, but Murray definitely. It's just a matter of where and when at this point. So there will be a goaltending spot open, and while Jory has been very solid for them, when you look at this Penguins roster, they surely have at least 2 more years of contending. You would have to think, right? That has been the number thrown around by plenty of people for quite some time now, because after 2 years are up, Evgeny Malkin's contract is up with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I don't know what's going to happen there. You'd assume he'd stay with them his entire career, but I honestly don't know. I don't think anyone knows at this point in time. But regardless, they really have a 2-year window, so that would make a lot of sense for Fleury to go back to Pittsburgh, be the #1, and possibly have some more deep playoff runs with them. I think Rutherford would love a reunion. I think Fleury wouldn't mind a reunion by any means, especially after he's been treated now, because Vegas has looked great when it comes to his treatment with Fleury over these past couple years, but this year especially, given Lehner, they really did him dirty here. And I'm not sure if it was really intentional or not, just the fact that Lehner is looking like the better goaltender of the two, no doubt. He's a great guy, great goaltender. I have nothing against him. I wish him all the best, Panda. But Fleury got backstabbed, and I don't think that this is a direction where he would even want to consider staying with Vegas if the option was there. So my assumption is that he could possibly go to Pittsburgh. Now, what kind of deal will we see? I honestly don't know. I'm not even going to try to come up with a proposal, but I think Carolina is also another possible destination, as they are in a win now stage, of course. Have a good core group, could be able to take on his cap hit, of course, getting rid of one of their goaltenders, at least in Reimer and Mrazek. I would assume it would be Reimer of the two, or maybe Mrazek, because he would probably have more value now that I think about it. But regardless, Fleury and Carolina would be a very solid fit for them too in this kind of win now stage. Have them for a couple of years, and then hopefully by then they have really a franchise kind of goaltender. Maybe it's going to be Yaroslav Askarov if they draft him this year. I'm not sure, but that would make a lot of sense for the Carolina Hurricanes from that front as well. So I think it is inevitable that Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be dealt, given the situation, as I mentioned, with Vegas, of course, the situation with the contract, knowing that this contract was in place. The discussion was finished really since June. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really? If that isn't evidence enough that Vegas had full intention of keeping Lehner as their go-to guy since the trade deadline, then I don't know what is. But that's going to conclude this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, guys. I would love to hear it. I really think Fleury is going to be shipped off, whether it's Pittsburgh or Carolina or another team. I'm not sure, but I hope you understand my points for either team. I think it really makes a lot of sense. And whether you agree with it or not is a different story. That's perfectly fine. I have different opinions. That's what this channel is all about. Commenting your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. I would love to hear all of them. But if you haven't checked out my previous videos, make sure you do, especially regarding other trade proposals. And stay tuned tonight, because depending on how that series goes with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders, I could very well have a series review up video later tonight. So stay tuned for that. But thank you all so much, guys. Help us reach 1K, because once I get there, I can do various things on this channel, of course, really expand my channel, and of course start doing live streams among other things. I can't thank you all for the love and appreciation and the following thus far. It means so much to me. I'm baffled that I'm in the situation I am. I did not think that this channel would be where it's at, and I'm unbelievably grateful. So thank you all so much, guys. Comment down below, hit like and subscribe if you like this kind of hockey content, and I'll be back very, very soon.